What's going on, folks? I hope you're well. I guess you see some of the videos that are dropping of the places I've been. I've got a couple more to come out, and I'm home already. I just went out of town on a trip to deliver something today. I do that part-time around my music, and I had to go up to Raleigh, North Carolina. I had to deliver just 2 trays of some cups for some party event company called Curated Events. But I tell you, man, you see the wildest stuff when you're traveling. And I'm from South Carolina, so these things. And I think I talked about it in a video some time ago. A place called South of the Border. And some of you, most of you, if you've driven down 95 from North Carolina into South Carolina going towards Florida, you know what I'm talking about. When you come into South Carolina, there's a place called South of the Border. You see all the billboards. Like, I don't even know how they can afford those billboards. When you drive by, like this time of the year, there's like nobody there hardly. But they make a killing of money, like in the holidays and in the summertime. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. Like you drive by, go, what the hell is this? And people get curious, they want to stop, and at some point I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some video, I'm gonna climb that little tower that's by the interstate and talk about it a little bit if you don't know about it. But if you're coming down 95, it's like one of those things that you want to stop at, kind of like stopping at Wall Drug in South Dakota. If you've ever done that, that's an experience. Stuff like that. There's places like the world's largest truck stop that I still want to go to, and in fact, I thought that I might have time to plan to shoot across and do it on this last trip and then come back over, but I was stopping to see a friend on my way home, and I had to be home to do some things, musically get stuff done, and then going to my conference next week. So, but a lot of this stuff, man, I really want to get on and showcase, and really, I want to start showing more about my hometown. I really do. I do. As long as you want to see it, I don't have a ton of subscribers right now. And that's, the thing is, I'm not the best YouTuber in the world. I'm the kind of guy that just turns the camera on and talks, and that's the way I'm going to be. I've said before, I do music for film and TV, and my emphasis is not on YouTube. I love to get on it, and I would love to have a bunch of subscribers and do that. I would probably put more time into it. But people have mentioned, put some music and maybe better editing in your videos, but that takes a lot of time. And I've got music and I've got work to do on that stuff. I love and have a passion for. I'd rather be doing than editing videos for YouTube. So if I have a good quality camera, I've used my iPhone, of course, and I think I'm gonna start using cinematic mode. But what I've also thought about doing is getting a GoPro maybe and just freeing up my iPhone. I think it would be good. I may do that because the GoPro would help me get mounts driving down the road and video more of me driving down the road and see things on the go as I'm doing it to capture. But if you do, all I ask is, like any other YouTuber, just, if you don't like it, that's fine. You can change the channel and go elsewhere. You don't have to put negative comments or comments that really aren't productive at all. You could just not like it. It's okay. I'm not for everybody, I guarantee it. But I think we all say that. I think long and hard before I make comments on people's videos, because when you type something can be misunderstood versus just somebody standing there talking to you and you understand their demeanor. Like, for instance, when someone makes a comment, well, you have a very limited vocabulary because everything is cool. What's the point in that comment? I like to say it's cool because it's cool and I love it. It's okay. You don't like it, change the channel. But I don't know if you were being an ass, and if you weren't, if you meant something else by it, I apologize. But there's no point in typing that. How productive is that comment, And some people, that maybe they don't mean to be mean. Some people mean to be mean and be assholes. That's what they love to do. And that's how, things are in the world. They're just some nasty people. If they're not happy, they don't want you to be happy. And that's why I always hear YouTubers talking about, don't read the comments. Don't read the comments. I'm like, well, I have so few subscribers and very little comments that I can't help but see them. I can't. So just know that you're not bothering me. I don't care. I always say, if you don't like it, change the channel. That's the way it is. You don't have to watch it. It's all good. But anyway, I digress. How's that for some vocabulary for you? Moving forward here. Not being mean. I apologize if you're watching and you did make that comment. Don't have any ill feelings towards you. It's just, you could make maybe better suggestions, like, hey, try this in your videos, if you know how. I'm always open to learn things, man. Always. I'm not the greatest YouTuber, I know I do probably not the best videos in the world showcasing my travels, but I'll tell you, I covered some things that a lot of videos I watched, like that cat high-speed ferry, was a lot of videos I watched that I talked about some things they didn't, like the food, for instance. I touched on that in some things, because a lot of people like to they script things and just, you know, and that's okay, and narrate it, and that's cool. And I think that's great. But again, I like to just turn the camera on and talk, you know, and I may find my niche one day, you know, or maybe not. I don't know if I'll be doing YouTube long term, but I do love to travel. I do love to talk about and showcase and document things that I do, like building my tiny home in my RV and building my van when I did. But there's some cool things, like in Charleston, South Carolina. I'd like to go talk, you know, go walk the bridge, talk about that in downtown, and a lot of the history and a lot of the things. If you've never been to Charleston, South Carolina, you should come. Don't let some people tell you things that just simply aren't true. You come here for yourself. We have some of the best restaurants in the world, and it's amazing. If you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm from here. It's my home. And, you know, that's the way that is. But I'll tell you something I'd love to. I had to stop at Buc-ee's. It's been a long time since I've had my brisket. Had to stop at Buc-ee's. Get a little bit of, I can't eat the bread, but I'll eat the brisket. I'm not eating much of it. That's why I got the sandwich. It's insane what, I don't even know how big this is, but it's enough. But anyway, Buc-ee's has these little, each state, they have photographers and artists that put stuff on the wall they sell. And if you guys have ever been to the Pisgah National Forest outside of Brevard, North Carolina, you know what I'm about to talk about. If you've been to Hendersonville, North Carolina, you know what I'm about to talk about. I have amazing childhood memories of that area. We had a mountain house on Cedar Mountain, North Carolina. It was over Brevard. And I miss that place so much. We talk about it all the time when my family gets together. In fact, my cousins, we were sitting there, and it may have been right around, we saw him when my dad's memorial service, I think in May, or maybe it was prior to that. I think we were eating dinner before my dad died. We were all out, my dad wasn't. My cousin said, we went over there and saw it. We called it the Rock House. I'll have to post some pictures. I definitely will. If I show videos of that area, I will be showing pictures, because I want to walk down that driveway and kind of peek around and take some photos, and if somebody's there, talk to them, because I'll tell you, they had this huge boulder rock in the yard. There's a lot of Army men lost in that rock, I tell you. It's just amazing memories of mountain air, and they had a stream that went around, and we'd take our toys, we'd throw them in one side of the stream. It would go around probably about 200 or 300 yards or more than that, probably half a mile. It'd come around, we'd run across the other side of the house. There's a stream over there, we'd catch them over there. Yeah. Sometimes they didn't make it around the other side, and we were like, we had to go look, and we lost a few, in that creek. Don't know exactly where they went to this day. That's been a long time ago. But just my grandparents had it, and we had it as a family. I wish we had never sold that place. But we used to go up to Hendersonville, because they had the flea markets all the time, and it was not as commercialized as it is today. And it's sad, because the Pisgah National Forest, there's a place called Sliding Rock, and I think they closed it, and then they started charging admission. Sad, because we could go there, park, and just slide down that thing all day for nothing, and not realizing how dangerous it was if you hit your head. But we had fun. We weren't worried about that shit. There were places we could swing from ropes, and places to swim. You'd have picnics and go hang out. Cleanest water, beautiful. Not that many people around. You weren't just bombarded. And this was in the summertime, yeah. But we used to go up to Hendersonville, and there's a chapel that overlooks a mountain view. It's called Pretty Place. And that view, my dad always talked about it, because I don't know, I probably never talked about what my dad did for a living. My dad was an Episcopal priest, and he retired as that. And they always say, once one, always one. So it's one of the most favorite places he always talked about, he always loved to go to. And if you look it up on Google, over Hendersonville, it's around Hendersonville, North Carolina, on the mountaintop. It's called Pretty Place. It's one of the most beautiful views in Smoky Mountains you'll ever see. I'm telling you. And I want to drive up there sometime and document some of that and talk about it. It's amazing. But it's a lot of things I'd like to do. But, as I get on and talk about things, as I say, when cool comes along, and I mean cool, whether you like it or not, when cool comes along, I'm going to cut you in. So I'm going to eat this brisket and get my butt to the house, because I got music to do. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. I appreciate you for watching. Thanks. Be goodbye.